Okay, hi, good evening. I'm Chinthaka from the team working under the consumer horizon. So today I'd like to share my knowledge, what I gathered when I'm working with Leapset regarding mobile user experience design. Before I go for the details, I'd like to ask you one question. That is simply, what is user experience design? Everybody can answer. I'm really happy if you could answer for this. No? Any suggestion? Nothing? User experience. Okay, I'll continue then. So, this is the user experience what explained in the Wikipedia. User experience design UXD, called UXD and UED, both are the similar words, short words used to explain user experience design. The improving usability, ease of use and pleasure to provide. The main thing is the interaction between the customer and the device. That's the challenge. Are you with us? Okay, let's go ahead. This is the content I'm going to show today. Mobile UX and design principles and design trends and innovation. Okay, when you're talking about mobile UX, can you remember your child age, how you enter to the mobile device?
We didn't have mobile.
Yeah, okay, could be. The first time when you get mobile, what you saw, what you heard about the mobile, it's used only for taking calls. But today it's totally different. So this is how 2005 and this is how 2013. When you are going to some festival or years, you can see a lot of displays, screen, taking pictures. If you are in a match show somewhere else, taking pictures like that. The thing is, another question that I'm going to ask, when you are going to buy a new mobile device, the main questions, what do you think come up to your mind nowadays? You're going to buy a new mobile device. What preference you select? Camera. Any other?
Size of the screen.
Size of the screen.
Performance.
Okay. Any other?
Application support.
Sorry?
Application support.
Application support. Okay. Mostly think here that devices support application support like Facebook. Thus we can go for YouTube to watch videos. That are the requirements in current social. So we have to think why mobile user experience is important. Right? Let's check. I am giving the answer to question this video.
There's a mobile movement going on. The rise of smartphones is creating smarter consumers, creating more opportunity for smarter marketing. Smartphones are always on, always with us, and always connected. In 1 week, we've browsed the internet, used a search engine, watched a video, and connected with our friends, all on our smartphones. But that's info you might already know. Here's some you might not. We're using smartphones almost everywhere, even while consuming other media. Smartphones have become such an important part of our lives that many of us would give up high heels, cable TV, even chocolate, just to keep using them. They're becoming important to our shopping habits too. Smartphones have become the ultimate shopping companion, transforming us into more savvy consumers. 79% use a smartphone to help with shopping. In fact, 70% of us actually use our smartphone while in the store. We use it to find retailers, compare prices, get coupons, read reviews, and check to see if something's in stock. Which leads us to buy. Nearly 3/4 of shoppers made a purchase as a direct result of the info we got from our smartphones, either in-store online, or on our phone. Our new mobile shopping habits are adding up to big spending across the board. And where do we do most of our shopping? Usually in our own backyards. In fact, finding local information is one of the most popular smartphone activities. We're using our phones to find everything from the nearest pizza place, to movie showtimes, to finding the nearest store that carries the item we're looking for. And 88% of us use that local information and take action within a day, whether to call or visit a local business. Over the past year, mobile search queries have skyrocketed to new heights as we search for everything from product reviews to travel info to random trivia that can help us settle bets with our friends. And while word of mouth or seeing a product in store may lead people to search on smartphones, 71% of us search because we saw an ad, both on traditional media and on our phones, and we're acting on it. 9 out of 10 mobile users have taken action, all thanks to a smartphone search. The simple fact is, mobile ads work. Recall seeing a mobile ad? You're not alone. 82% of us do. Yet 79% of top advertisers don't have a mobile optimized website. It's important to build a good mobile user experience because if we see a mobile ad, we tend to click on the ad, visit the advertiser's site, make a purchase, or call the business. Today we use smartphones to stay connected, to keep us entertained, to search for information on the go, and to make us smarter shoppers. And we're going to be doing a lot more of this, creating more opportunities for marketers to connect with their customers. Don't miss the mobile movement. Mobilize your marketing to reach the new smartphone consumer.
Okay, that sees the importance of mobile user experience. Okay, let's talk about the starting mobile UX. When you are starting to develop application or anything else for the mobile devices, firstly we have to think about these things: the device, operating system and technology, audience, and UX. The target audience also very important when you are at the beginning stage to the design. Devices. It's me. I also like this. I have to think about all these devices when I'm doing an application, when I'm designing an application too. So the screen resolutions are different to device, and operating systems also. These are the most famous operating systems. I think which operating systems are most leading in the market? Android. No need to tell you, it's Apple. So let's talk about technology. We can categorize it to 3 separate sections when you are doing application: mobile, web, hybrid, and native. Native means the most native applications you can download it from the App Store or Google Android Store. So the hybrid mode means mostly the mix of mobile and native. That means we can include the component inside to the native application, working with the mobile web application. So the technologies we can use for the mobile web like HTML-based, HTML5, CSS, and like Bootstrap responsive frameworks, and JavaScript, and another most coding part we can do for the mobile web. The easy of implementation is the main thing we can use for the mobile web. The native applications having a native features, we have to use the guidelines what provided from the platforms. And hybrid mode also we can use the same components, both components mix up. The next thing is the target audience. It's very important before we start the design. That can be a restaurant or medical center or social media, multimedia center, like that. The user experience is different audience to audience. So this is very important in the user research area. We have to do the user research at the beginning. These questions become what application we are going to do, to whom we are going to do it, like that. So, as we know, our audience is merchants and consumers. As I gathered information from the database team and operational team, now we having merchants 1,000, around at least 1,000, close to 1,000 merchants, and consumers 500,000 around. It's a rough estimate, not the totally accurate one. So the requirements for the merchants and consumers would be different. So we have to think separately what are the consumer requirements and merchant requirements. Merchant requirements, we can provide some help tips and guidelines how to use the application, but consumers are beginners. There are a lot of variety of people who are using something. If you are going to buy something, children or elder guy can use our mobile application. So the user experience should be balanced for all. Right. The next thing is the future goal for the Leapset would be more than 10,000 of merchants. So we have to do a good experience to provide and satisfy them. Right. The next thing is the mobile UX design process. To do a smooth user experience design, this process is very important. So the user research, first thing we have to do user research to understand who are the users, like what I showed in user research area. And next thing is analyzing. We can do wireframes and we can get the requirements and communicate, and we can check identify design opportunities what we can provide like that. The next thing is the design stage. We have to think about the user experience and what provided from the platform. If you are saying Apple, they have a guideline, and Android also having a guideline. So we have to follow them and innovate our UX. Okay. Another thing is user testing. Once we done the prototype, design wireframe or something, we have to give it for the review. Then we can get the client comments like that. Then we can add our new changes, and we can send it to resend it to the user testing. Like that, the design cycles are running. I'm going forward. This is the market share of the mobile brands and platforms running. Can you see figure who are the leading in the mobile industry? This is the US market. This can be varied with the Asian market and global count. The separate. The Apple is individually lead the role. Android has traded for the too many devices. The challenge is how Apple leading like 40% of the market individually with their device and OS. That's very important. Okay, next. The question is why 40% Apple and 52% Google. I'm not going to give some separations why Apple having why features and why Android having these features. I'm going to tell you why both these operating systems are lead in the market. How they lead. That's the challenge, and that's the question I'm asking. We'll find a solution to this video.
The mobile battle rages on, and there are only two heavyweight platform contenders, Google's Android and Apple's iOS. Both are getting better and more similar with every iteration, so we thought we'd take a look at how they compare. Android L is a big change in terms of user interface, with Google looking to unleash its material design look across all its platforms. It includes bold colours and a new typography, with loads more animations for touch feedback and transitions between apps. There's also a more 3D feel thanks to shadows, and a nesting scrolling effect that slots things away when you don't need them. Apple didn't need another major facelift after iOS 7, so it keeps the same clean and uncluttered look. Android L seems to take hints from iOS 6 and iOS 8, following the trend for flatter designs. The iOS 8 SDK contains more than 4,000 new APIs for developers, whereas Android L has over 5,000. Of course, everything depends on what those APIs actually have to offer, but Android L also brings 64-bit support, much like we saw roll out in iOS 7. Google has dumped Dalvik and made Android Runtime, or ART, the new engine, which should offer a speed boost by improving general performance and elements such as battery life. Apple's new Swift programming language for iOS 8 and OS X is meant to safeguard against errors and offer improved performance for developers. The rival platforms are creeping ever closer in terms of notifications. Apple has added interactive notifications to the lock screen with iOS 8 and made them less intrusive with in-app pop-ups at the top of the screen. Google's done much the same in Android L, with notifications on the lock screen that can carry you straight into the apps, and pop-ups at the top of the screen when you're doing something. Google's also added a new authentication system that can determine when you're holding your device, using location awareness and attach Bluetooth devices, and automatically unlock it for you. The Android Wear platform is currently rolling out for developers, and the new LG G Watch and Samsung Gear Live are available to order now. Apps on your Android device will automatically download and update themselves on any Android device you link to it. They can also sync between devices, so you can, for example, follow a recipe on your watch and phone at the same time, and simply tap the screen to start a timer if the recipe calls for it. It looks like Google's rolling out dedicated Android Wear apps too, which appeared on the Play Store before quickly being pulled, which shows that the Big G thinks wearables are the future. Apple's yet to announce the iWatch, but the updated Health app and HealthKit API for iOS 8 are designed to make it easier to record fitness and health data for wearables, including, no doubt, Apple's fabled timepiece. Android L offers greater control over battery life and settings that let you decide how much power apps can guzzle. Project Volta helps you find out where your battery is draining, and a new battery saver mode can make tweaks to extend your phone's uptime. Apple is lagging behind a little bit, but iOS 8 will finally bring a battery usage screen that shows which apps are leaching the most power. Google's Open Automotive Alliance is growing fast, with 40 new partners since we last heard about it. Android Auto will allow you to plug in your device and get a simplified interface with voice controls. You can browse navigation and entertainment content, as well as take calls and messages. It looks very similar to Apple's CarPlay in form and function, so it'll be interesting to see which platform the manufacturers favour. Android L will allow people to unlock their Chrome OS laptop automatically when their Android device is close. There's also notification sharing, so your Chromebook can mirror your Android device and warn you when your phone battery is low. There's even some app crossover, with some big names like Evernote, Flipboard and Vine to appear on Chrome OS. Apple's done something similar with iOS 8 and the upcoming OS X Yosemite with its handoff feature, which allows you to pick up activities in apps on your laptop and take them over to your iPhone. You can also handle calls and messages from your iPhone on your Mac. Developers can get their hands on Android L and iOS 8 right now, but will have to wait a bit longer for a proper release. Our best guess is that iOS 8 will land on the iPhone 6 in September before appearing on older devices. Android L is likely to be a month or two later, probably on a new Nexus device in time for the Christmas period. For more on Android L and iOS 8, keep it locked to Tech Radar.
Products are behind. It is 22% of market share. Apple and Android. Can you guess? You can guess the secret. You know. Sashi? Yes. User experience.
They have provided.
Yes. They are well applied. User interaction design principles properly to their products. That is the main thing. That's the challenge. Okay. Let's check what are those using principles. I'm going to show you 10 design principles in this session. Capture the information size and things. Let's take what are those. What are the first one is learnability, the efficiency, memorability, error recovery, simplicity, mapping, visibility, feedback, consistency, satisfaction. Those are the 10 principles that I'm going to explain. You go ahead. Learnability. So, can you see the screen behind? The background screen. What can you see? Just it's an art. It's a car. Designer, before start to design, they are doing a sketch. So the first screen, second screen and third screen. The first thing is steering wheel, second thing is dashboard, third thing is the view of the screen. Both for all three things are very important. So the same thing for the mobile as well. When the person who interacts with the mobile at the first time, the interface should be easy to use. The Apple and Android also both maintain this principle. So all the functionality presented to the user should be limited to exactly what the user requires to go to their goal. The car we use for drive to go for the target. Like that, the mobile should be take a call or any application function. Like that, minimize the functionality to go for the goal. That's the learnability. The next thing is these are the Apple provided screens. Efficiency. The background I use 2 mini bulbs and another one bulb. You can do a lot more things easy. People are always finding an easy way to do the work. So I'm going to take an example by iOS features. So this is what I am having the mobile. This is iPhone 4. It's an old version, and I'm taking an example to show you this efficiency, how we improve the iOS. The requirement of example is I want to increase the brightness of this screen. So I follow these steps. You can look here. When it in lock mode, I have to press the home button, something slide to unlock, and find the settings, and find the brightness section and the increase, and then look back to the mode. This is how earlier stays, but how iOS added the efficiency with solving this out. So this is the control center provided with iOS 7. iOS 8 also they have enhanced the font, the icons, bold shapes, and added the field color to separate the background with the foreground. The functionality is the important. The number of steps it takes for a user to complete a task. For these steps, the example what I used to increase the brightness, on these steps we can do it on 1 or 2 steps, but earlier version we have to follow 8 steps. If you are using a mobile phone frequently, so it's difficult to follow that 8 steps again and again. This is the easy function. You can use torch, you can play music, you can use brightness, you can enable, disable some functions. Wi-Fi one. So the next thing is the newly introduced by iOS 8, the text message reply. Without unlock the screen, you can send a message. Another thing is the shortcut panel. We can see the favorite first people, and the contact list and the applications was what we have opened, and mails, messages, method, applications. Easily we can get in one screen by swipe feature. Next thing is memorability. This is a bit similar, but it's separated by a few things. The interface should be easier to use each time the user interacts with it. Each time the user. Always the user interacts with the phone. So the interface should be easier. And frequency of use is the key factor is memorability. So I am getting back to the car again. The first screen, what we highlighted is the steering wheel. When I am a driver, my goal is to go for the target, driving to the end station. So there are some functions I think you have experience with the car driving, volume controls and AC controls and other things. But when you are driving your car, you are not looking on the AC control and you are not looking on the how control volume when you are driving. It is dangerous. So, but you do it automatically once you learn it. The learnability and the memorability are connected principles. The memorability is like the mobile device. Also, when you are going to take a call, when you are going to message, the icon places for the home screen they didn't change. That's why. Android is also having the same. The next thing is error recovery. Can you see that operation theatre? If I am a doctor, I couldn't do errors. It's a big risk. Because we are people. Like that, the perfect user interface, user should never be allowed to make mistake. When they are doing an operation, looking on a screen, there's something error there, we have to provide and the recover. What is the solution to recover that error? And like that thing, the mobile interface also, iOS provided is error recovery feature for the messaging. The same feature available in the Android as well. Okay, let me pressed. And before we talk about the next principle, let's think about these places. Okay. I'm asking you, who said this place? Correct. Albert Einstein. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. The next thing, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Who said this? Pick your hand. This, Leonardo da Vinci. We all are thinking about the simplicity. So next phrase. Can you guess who's the person who said this kind of phrases? I think the UI team is no. I expect the answer from others. Can you guess? Yes, Steve Jobs. He's the person who changed user experience, the mobile. It's passed away, unfortunately. Simplicity. What through that phrases, what I was going to tell about simplicity. Usual tasks should be easy and less common tasks should be possible. Avoid unnecessary functionality and keep the visual design and layout uncluttered. The same thing Apple used. When you are talking to Siri, they are not providing the buttons. They are only showing what can I help you with. And when you are taking a call, they are not providing other buttons and applications. Only slide to answer. If you are being a call, there's another button to recline it. Like this, no need to show the green color code button again. Minimize functionality. The mapping. Mapping is very important when you are doing something. I'm taking an example from Apple Reminder. When you have deleted something, that things have to be in a recycle bin. Like when you complete the task, the person who required to show the what I have already completed, when you press show completed task, they should allow to show what I've completed task. That's the mapping. It's a visibility. Important information should be the most visible and less important information should be less visible. Understanding the user goal is critical. I'm going to the restaurant now. So the background you can see on the table. Your goal is to have a great meal. So the tools they have provided, the restaurant has already provided a good environment to go for your goal. Like that, the information should be visible and this information should be less visible. The user goal is the important. Like this new Google Keep interface, they have bold added the big fonts and the separate colors and a few new features introduced. The Skype, you can see the recent call counter circle, and the orange color they have highlighted whatever recent calls. Like this usability feature, the principle they have applied on this screen also. Okay, see this screen and think. What you see in this screen? What you see in this screen? You can see a progress bar, status, what happened. Earlier it was loaded, now completed. That's called feedback. When you are downloading something, you have to how many files you are downloading and what's the current kilobyte per second and what are the activated buttons and what are the deactivated buttons. Those are feedbacks. And also another thing is the error feedback, also possible. You are doing something. If you are not in a network, Apple automatically show the network is not here. Consistency. This is very important for the interaction design principle. I'm going to explain this with the background image. This is American football team. They have consist their team as a team. Two teams there. The font used to show 11, the name, and the shops, the size, composition, everything they have consist. Like when you are watching the match, you can identify easily these teams are the one team, this is the second team. So the consistency is very important. This is how Facebook implement consistency to the application. The top toolbar, you can see the blue color and they maintain the consistency. Icons, fonts, the buttons, the highlighted color, and the size balancing, everything they have consistency. So next thing is satisfaction. So how much the user enjoys or dislike using the software. Satisfaction, I'm going to explain it by step-by-step. You can't just ask customers what they want and they try to give that to them. By the time you get it in, they want something new. You always have to provide something new to customer satisfaction. Okay, listing this. The design trends. as we are designer, when we are going to do a design, first step we are browsing internet and find what are the trends, what we don't know and what we know. We can find what are the latest trends. I'm going to show it for your inspiration. Living in the flat world, I think flat design concept is more years ago thing, and newly they have introduced for the operating systems Windows Micro and iOS 8, 7. Those are flat design under flat design concept. The 2014 it will be the year of flat UI. So the layered interface is the first trend I read. This approach gives a real sense of 3D feeling to people. The separations of the layers and the foreground highlights and like that the control center I showed you earlier. The next thing is the divided by elements and spacing less lines. I think everybody are familiar with the mobile new applications browsing things, new applications. So there are no more lines separations. So this is another new trend. Another thing is the swipe. Mobile screen is very small. It's not like a desktop screen. So a lot of things, a lot of information we have to provide to customer and show a lot of functionalities there. So this swipe features, the gesture, very important. The next thing is come focus interaction. People are always busy, so they couldn't use two fingers. When someone is going with hand on the bus, he couldn't use two hands to operate the mobile interface. So the thumb focus is very important on this. So they have provided double tap feature and scroll feature, swipe feature to use one single hand using one thumb. And simple color theme. You know, with the flat design concept, the simple color theme is very important. In the market, you can see a lot of color schemes as provided. The next thing is icons. I think nowadays icons are more important to express our ideas. When you are using a button, we can use only icon, like iPhone control center. The next thing is animation. If you couldn't do a proper animation, better to not do use it purposely. This is the new trend for the animations. The next thing is one type font. Can you remember the few years back for the web applications also? They use a lot of fonts, but nowadays a bit different. One font typeface used to maintain their slides. Just maintain the consistency and the simplicity. Okay. Another thing is blur effect. So blur effect you can see on iOS and Android also. This is a good effect to layer interfaces, emphasize the fonts and the foreground elements to enhance the visibility. The next thing is the trend is tablet. I think iPhone 6 Plus must be close to that. It's not a phone or it's not a tablet, it's tablet. You have to do the design for tablets as well in the future. The next thing is innovation. Okay, what's coming in 2015? Actually, we are close to the end of the session. Let's watch this video. And
as 2014 progresses, we begin to see hints of what the future of the smartphone market may look like next year, from transparency to holographic projection. So what are the 10 must-have smartphones coming in 2015? At 10 is the Windows 9 phone. Windows 9 will be an important step forward for Microsoft after the much-loved Windows 8. The Windows 9 smartphone will be 64-bit only, and integration between Microsoft's mobile devices and desktops should also be a key feature. Whether or not Windows 9 will be a success, though, is yet to be seen. At 9 is the LG G Flex 2. The original G Flex smartphone had some groundbreaking features, including self-healing technology and a flexible body. However, despite this, LG is already setting a release date on the next G Flex, set to be released in the second quarter of 2015. Samsung promises to have new features, even more unique than a flexible screen. While there is no real idea of what these features will be, some sources have speculated that it could be an ultra-flexible phone capable of 90-degree bends. At 8 is the Android Silver phone. The Android Silver will be the replacement for the Nexus line of smartphones. It is set to serve as a benchmark and seal of quality for all Android phones. The first Android Silver phone is rumored to be an LG smartphone, possibly the G Flex 2, which will debut next year. At 7 is the first 4K smartphones. As the resolution of smartphones continues to improve, the improvements in both video and picture quality are becoming evident. LG is set to release the first QHD smartphone this year, which will feature a resolution of 2560 by 1440 pixels. But it is very likely that the first 4K resolution phone will debut next year, as the 4K processor, called the Snapdragon 805, has already been shown to the public. At 6 is the world's first truly holographic smartphone. The technology for holographic smartphones has already been developed and shown off by a company called Ostendo, who have built a holographic projector the size of a Tic Tac, which is designed to fit into a smartphone. Amazon is rumored to be creating the first holographic phone, and the opportunities for app development and video playback with holographic technology may prove to be a huge success. At 5 is the iPhone 6. While the first model of the iPhone 6 is expected to be released this year, a second version is rumored to be 5.5 inches and will also debut in 2015. The 5.5-inch model is expected to blur the lines between tablets and smartphones, being the first Apple product to be classified as a phablet. At 4 is the Samsung Galaxy S6. The S6 is confirmed to be released in 2015, with speculated features including QHD display, bendable displays, and a 4K video camera. It will be one of the most advanced smartphones available when it is released. At 3 is the world's first transparent phone. When Polyton Technologies unveiled a transparent phone concept last year, it was speculated that a transparent phone could be released at the end of the year. While this did not happen, it is very possible that the first transparent phone could be revealed next year. While the concept seems questionable, a transparent phone that can switch between opaque and transparent would be very useful to own. At 2 is Samsung's world-first foldable phone. Foldable phone technology was shown off back in April of this year. Samsung then announced that it could sell a completely foldable phone by 2015 or 2016. A foldable phone would blur the lines on how a smartphone should look, as the shape of the phone could be continuously changed. At number 1 is Google's Project Ara modular phone. This idea behind this smartphone is to create a phone that is more like a desktop computer with removable and customizable parts. One of the many benefits that this would have is that a phone's life expectancy would increase exponentially, since any damaged piece of hardware could be easily removed, and the phone itself could be continuously upgraded, much like a desktop computer. So what smartphone are you most looking forward to next year? Leave a comment below with your thoughts.
Thank you very much.